So at this point, I think we've probably done 35, 40 home studio tours, and just when you think you've seen it all, there's another Monday upload. I love doing these. These are super fun. It's a really cool challenge to make these happen, and it's so fun meeting you guys who let me do this video at your studio. It's super cool. If you guys aren't subscribed, by the way, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, and you can see the rest of these when they come up. Hit that little bell. It lets you know when the videos are up. But anyway, so I've seen so many different studio setups that, you know, you kind of build an expectation of what you're going to get. And today's expectation, it was just, I hadn't been in a place like this. It was really cool. So Derek, thank you for having me on. Derek Frank, really cool dude. He's like a engineer, a musician, a gamer, uses PC. I don't know about you guys. I've just been building a stereotype in my head of gamers, PC users who build their computers, and a strange correlation with live sound guys. I love all of you, but you know, am I right or am I wrong? Is there some sort of correlation? Let me know down in the comments. I'm trying to decide. I don't even know if I want to tell you to go to my website, ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com, to book me, because I don't have any time. But if there is time and you guys want to book something, there's Zoom call consultations, mixing, drumming and stuff. It's just, I'm really booked up. But if you guys wanted to check it out, ANDREWMASTERSmusic.com. Super fun, really great. You guys are awesome. Thank you for smashing the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribing and hitting the bell so you get notifications, all that stuff. You guys are freaking awesome. I think we're coming up on 42,000 subscribers now. Just hit 40. It's just nuts. So thank you guys again, and let's go check out Derek's. So all his links are down in the description. If you want to go give him a follow, shoot him a message, ask him any of his, you know, any of your PC questions. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Let's go check out his studio. Oh, nice. What are the dimensions of this room?
This is 12 by 24. This was never intended to be a studio, but with COVID and the world, everything just kind of changed really quick, and that's what happened.
Holy cow, you've really crammed a lot in here.
Yeah, and I'm at the point now where like I kind of want to sell it and get a bigger one.
Okay.
And this is all on runners. So I had a company in Nashville build the shell for me, and they delivered it. And so like within 15 minutes, it was off the truck and set and leveled. And I did the rest of the work. I did all of the finish work. I did all the drywall, electrical, flooring. The really cool thing about this is I wanted a space outside of the house that I didn't have to worry about volume and bothering my wife. So I was like, okay, how much was this gonna cost me? So this all said and done, minus gear, was like 6,500 bucks.
Wait, so drywall.
Yeah.
So you insulate, what's the actual layer of the walls here?
So I did stud 16 on center, and there is a layer of insulation. And then I also left a air gap that's about 2-inch air gap because I'm going to do the blow-in cellulose because it's super tight packed. That's just phase 2 of this.
Okay, you've got everything in here. This is clearly, you've got your workstation control room, but then just like me, you've got a bunch of instruments and you can track in here. You got the ceiling mounted, props on the ceiling mounted.
Yes,
Killer.
yeah, and that's, especially with a small space like this, it's essential that I don't have stands everywhere on the floor, and then I can also move them around. So if I want to throw a vocal mic up there, and also I can like throw different panels up on these bars that I have. So if I need some sound diffusers, I can put them in different spots.
What are these bars called? Is there like an industry name for them?
I mean, I just bought some conduit at Lowe's and cheaply spray painted them black. And then I was like, oh, if I don't like them, I'll just take them down, and they've never left.
Would you say that when you put this together, there was some sort of theme that you had in mind?
No, I mean,
is it just kind of just random?
Yeah, just random. I mean, it's not at all Star Wars related. And
yeah. I think I noticed.
There are a few things that are Star Wars, and again, not this ever intending to be a studio. When guys walk in here to use this lately, they're like, man, okay, should have told me ahead of time.
This is a commitment here. Oh, okay. Is this a sticker on
That
your
is
power
a sticker.
conditioner?
That's a sticker.
Okay, that's cool. So what is the primary function of this room for you?
This actually turned into my work office. So I am an artist relations manager, and when all the quarantine hit, I had to work from home, and I do a lot of live streaming for work, and also I do my own Twitch stuff with video games and with music. And so this was my space where my wife was also working from home, where I needed quiet and I needed to have meetings with artists and different people that I could come out here, and that's where it evolved.
So you're telling me you're a gamer?
I am a gamer.
Do you have enough screens to be a gamer?
I think I might, and also you didn't notice this when you first walked in. This whole wall is also a projector. That's why the couch moves. So the couch is on wheels, even though it's for storage under here. This is also on wheels that it can just spin and can watch movies. And if you want to play games on a projector, which real gamers don't play on projectors, the refresh rate's too slow. I'm not a PC gamer, even though even though I am PC and not Mac, I'm not a PC gamer. I'm still Xbox.
We won't hold that against you.
I built this rig, and I really wanted to have a touchscreen, but I had a really hard time spending, $3,000 on a Slate Raven. I had this 50-inch TV, and I figured out how to make it a touchscreen. So I built this touchscreen myself. It's really great. I don't exclusively use it. I still like using the mouse and still like the I/O station to do stuff, like the actual fader with the motorized faders. Having the option to just kind of touch things and have it really close was cool. Plus, I built this 50-inch screen and touchscreen, everything said and done, for under $400. And it looks really cool.
Yeah, so do you do that? Like, can somebody be like, can you do this for me?
Actually, I'm gonna probably do a video on how anyone can do it themselves. It's really simple. You just get an infrared frame off of Amazon. And I think they're like $200 depending on the size that you want. And then any TV screen. You don't even have to put on a screen. You could put on the projector wall if you wanted. And then it USBs into your computer. And it will work with Mac or PC, but they do work better on PC. Because with PC, you can get multi-touch without having to buy a bunch of extra software. PC, it just works.
You mean it's cheaper, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cheaper
and
on
it's
PC.
more efficient. So when I had this on my Mac first, and it would work with the multi-touch, but every time I turned the Mac off and turned it back on, the multi-touch wouldn't work. And I'd have to go through the process of reinstalling it every time. So that's one of the big reasons why I dumped my Mac.
This video is sponsored by Linux.
I'm using Studio One. I have used Pro Tools. I really liked Logic a lot, but then I tested out Studio One, and I was really happy with how everything functioned and the look and the feel of it and for what I was doing. And so that's what I stuck with. And now that they've introduced their Sphere and having the online storage, and with me doing a lot of audio stuff for work, being able to bounce projects to other team members and let them edit things or let them make comments online is a huge benefit for me.
You're doing a lot of mixing and live streaming for fun and for work.
Yes, yeah.
And some video stuff too. Is that OBS I see?
That is OBS. I'm actually using the Stream Elements version of OBS just because I like their overlays. I've got this room set up with a bunch of different cameras. Got like a couple different drum views with the Stream Deck. So if I just punch over there, you can do the drum view, and I can do like the overhead desk view. So whenever I'm live, I just hit a button and can have all the different views that I need.
What is this? Oh, this is the Mackie.
Yeah, the big knob. I just got this, actually I got it last week, wanting to be able to switch monitors back and forth, just having some different references for mixing.
And you're using what speakers?
They are the KRK Rocket 6s, and then the small ones are just a cheap knockoff monitor I just couldn't get rid of. I got them a couple years ago for inside the house as a secondary pair, and I took my Adams monitors to the office to use because I was mixing there a lot, and these just kept coming back out. Take them out, and sometimes, like for me especially, I do like having nice gear and expensive gear, but sometimes the cheap stuff, if it works, there's no reason to dump it.
And then you got the fader port, right? Is that what that is?
That's actually the I/O station. This is a fader port and then a 2-channel interface in one. And then I use the Revelator for a lot of my podcasts, which is a only USB mic I would actually use. I've used a couple different mics, but this one, having all of the built-in gates and compressors in the microphone and in their software, so it doesn't bog down like OBS or anything like that, makes it really great for doing Zoom calls, OBS, anything live.
What you got in that rack over there?
I actually rack mounted my PC, which is an iBuyPower. It's got the i7 10th gen, 128 gig RAM, got the 1660 Ti graphics card in there. Just got the Warm Audio 412. It's only a matter of time before I have 4 of these because I want 16 channels. I want everything going through. I love it so much. The Warm 76 for my compression. I love that for drum buses. I actually use it with the pipeline setup through Studio One. No, so the pipeline makes it a plug-in. And so I actually use it as a plug-in going out and then back in, but it's using the outboard gear. The BBE Sonic Maximizer, I love this on kick and snare. And I always thought I was cheating until I was at Blackbird and John McBride was doing a session and I was like, John, what is your signal chain? He's like, well, I always use a Sonic Maximizer on every bass drum and snare drum. And I was like, oh, okay. And I put that back in the rack immediately. Then I've just got this old Furman crossover that I will use sometimes just kind of checking frequencies and stuff. I don't use it very often though. It's just because I have it. And then I use the PreSonus 1824C interface. And then I've got the Digimax for ADAT into there to expand my channels. So now I have 18 inputs and 24 outs.
You got all sorts of flags in here. Walk me through. Are these games? What are these?
No, these are all Star Wars things. Mandalorian, all this stuff. But going with the theme, I got the flag because I was like, okay, I could put panels up, but what am I going to use for fabric? And then I was like, well, I wonder if I could do this. So I made these panels out of actual flags that I got on like Amazon, put Rock Soul behind them. And
what's stored under this couch? This is a big man couch, by the way.
I've got like drum hardware, some cymbals under here, like just like some of my auxiliary stuff. I've got a couple backdrops that I'll use. I've got my green screen and then I've got a black backdrop.
Green screen, nice.
Yeah, so with the conduit, I can also add other poles to that and I can put the green screen behind me.
The room you've insulated behind the drywalls. You're gonna do more. Yeah. You've got these panels that you've built for absorption. Yes. And then you have these things in the back here. Tell me about these.
Yeah, these are just like the cheap Amazon foam. Okay. And I just did that, I put them on pegboard so that just to knock down some of the reflections, because I don't like anything permanent, especially because I change this room around so much.
Sure.
But I just put these on hooks so that if you want, you just pop them off. This is also a temporary ceiling until I do the spray foam insulation in here.
I like your stand configuration here on the ceiling mounts.
Thank you.
It's cool to see somebody else's design.
So sometimes, like this one's not plugged in right now, but sometimes I will put a second large diaphragm condenser on this side and do like
Space
a bigger,
pair.
Yeah. But right now I've really been happy with the SEs and doing more of that stereo kind of thing, a little bit closer to the bass drum.
What are the mics you're using?
Those are SE7s. I do have some SE8s that I like as well. The SE8s are a little bit more expensive, but for some reason in this room, these sound a little bit better. I don't know why, they just do. This is one of the Neat, I think it's called the Worker Bee. If anybody knows about Neat, they were started by the same guys as Blue Microphones, and then they were acquired by Gibson, and then they are no longer with Gibson, and they just got acquired by Turtle Beach.
Turtle Beach?
Yeah, the gaming like headsets and stuff. So they're actually really cool. When they first came out in the market, the bigger ones that I have back there were like 350 bucks, and now they're only $100. And I think for $100, you're not gonna find a better large diaphragm condenser microphone.
What do you play? You play a little bit of everything?
Yeah, I went to college for drums and voice, but when I moved to Nashville, I was a frontman and did more guitar and singing.
Let's do a speed round of mics on the drum kit.
Kick drum is the SEV kick and the Solomon sub kick.
SEV kick. Dynamic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. We can't see it, so there we go.
I've got a bunch of different kick mics though, but right now that's my favorite. Snare on the top, I've got an SE V7X. Bottom is, I think it's an Audio Technica. A lot of times I'll use an SE V7, not the V7X on the bottom head. The toms are the SE V-Beats.
Almost all SE, except for that Nest and the Audio Technica,
yeah,
right?
Quite a bit. And I've got a lot of other microphones too, but right now it's just kind of what is
on the kit.
Yeah, it's what's in style for me right now, and we're using them at work. So since I'm using them on a daily basis, it just makes more sense to use them here as well.
So tell me about this kit.
Yeah, so this is the Sonar ProLite kit. This is easily the best sounding drum set I've ever owned, and I've owned a lot of drum sets. This is the vintage maple drums, and they've even got like the reinforcement rings at the top. They're super articulate, so I've always been a clubber when it comes to drums, and that was because I always played like Yamaha Birch kits. And so it was like, you hit it soft or you hit it loud, it's kind of the same sound. Where this, you're playing it quiet, it has a different shape and different kind of sound than playing it hard. So having those dynamics has made me a little bit of a better player too.
Oh yeah.
And having that kind of feel.
And what's the snare? Is the snare with the kit?
No, that is a Yamaha. I got that when I bought my Yamaha kit back in like 1997. It's a Yamaha steel snare. I just really dig the tone of that. And then I've got the that smaller AQ2 sonar snare on the left side. That purple snare is a 13.
Mapex?
Yep.
Okay, and then we got the sonar snare on the top.
And another Mapex on the bottom.
Piccolo?
I've got a bunch of other kits and snares and stuff in the house. I don't have enough room out here for everything.
Right.
I need more space.
So you got a bunch of guitars?
I do.
Acoustic guitar. What are your, is it the situation where each one serves a specific purpose?
Yes and no. It kind of depends. Really, like for acoustic, I actually go with the Epiphone Masterbuilt that's on the other side. I toured with it for years and played on Broadway with that. It was just always my workhorse guitar. And when you get the feel in your hands and you're so used to something, there's no reason to come into the studio and have to play, you know, a guitar that is super, super expensive if it doesn't feel the same in your hands. So that's why that one it stays on that stand because I use it the most.
Purple Strat.
Yeah, so
when did you get that?
I got that when I was 16. So it was my first electric guitar, my first like real guitar, and I bought it on eBay. And it was supposed to be a candy apple red American Strat, and I got it, and it was a sparkle red Japanese Strat, and it was missing parts. It wasn't playable, and I filed a fraud report, and I got all my money back and got to keep it. So this is like early days of eBay, and so my dad had it redone. It's been with me ever since. It's been on every show I've ever done, and I just love that guitar. And then behind that is my 2008 Les Paul Standard. It's a lot lighter than most Les Pauls. I've never really been a Les Paul guy, but that one just kind of stayed with me, and I really like the design. It's got the Nutrix locking plug on it. Behind that is the Les Paul HP. It's their high performance one. Has all kinds of like different dip switches and stuff. I really dig that LTD X-Tone. I toured with that for a long time. It's got Seymour Duncan, Seth Lover pickups. Guitar behind that is the Frankenstein. Doesn't have strings on it right now. That is the worst playing guitar I've ever had. I made that. It plays horrible, but the thing is, it sounds so great. So it's got the Nashville Telly body with the oversized Strat headstock, and then some other acoustics that I have different tunings. I don't really use them a ton. That one's in like the Dadgad or whatever it is. Those like the weird Goo Goo Dolls tunings.
Open tuning,
yeah. Like when I want to play a Goo Goo Dolls tune, just because I'm feeling nostalgic, it's that one. And then some of my Lanakai ukuleles I use for layering. I love using ukes for different layers. And then my Lanakai Guitalele, which is the same tuning as a guitar, but up to A.
Amps.
Amps, yes.
Dude, you got some sweet looking amps here.
Thank you. Yeah, so this one and this one are from a company called Oxygen in Canada. I don't even know if they're still in business anymore, but his claim to fame was that like the whole circuit board is copper, and he thought that it would ground it evenly. I don't know if that's true or not. The red one is a VHT Special 6 Ultra, which is just a 6-watt VHT head. Those were cool because they were hand wired in China, so the price point was lower. But I actually had Kevin Shaw here in Nashville mod that, and he put a second power tube in there and then also a mercury output transformer, so it bumped it up to about 20 watts. The Self amp is a guy out of Oklahoma named Robbie Self. He just made a few of them, I think is a hobby, and I had a friend that had it, played it, and I was like, dude, I want to buy this. And he's like, oh, he doesn't really just make them, so I bought that one off of them. 22 watt, like Fender clone. And then my main go-to is my Hughes & Kettner Tubemeister 36. I actually did all of those finishes. I did that cab, that's a Tone Tubby, it's loaded with Tone Tubby Nashvilles. The bass cab down here is actually, it's a Marshall Bass 60. I have the head for it, but I took it out because it doesn't work anymore. But it's got a 15-inch like 70s Celestion greenback, so I love that cab. I use it for bass, I'll use it for guitar.
Do you play keys too?
A little bit, yeah. If I have to, I can fake it. That is just an M Audio, it's a weighted key MIDI controller.
Wait, what's this award for?
Oh, that's my favorite award I've ever won.
That's so cool.
That microphone is a late 40s RCA 74B. That is not a remake. It's a ribbon mic, and that is the tastiest mic for doing anything like horns, putting it on cabs. I love it as a room microphone, like putting it here and playing drums. It is just, yeah.
The
This is
77s.
actually 77 clone. This is the Cascade C77. Cascade unfortunately doesn't make that anymore, and that's also a ribbon mic. That's probably my favorite microphone that I own.
Is this the new 87 from Warm?
Yeah, it's the 87R. These are the neat, I think they're called the King Bees. These are great, and also the diaphragm is larger than almost every other large diaphragm condenser, like consumer type microphone. And then behind that is the Audio-Technica 4050.
4050, that's right.
That's a great mic. I do like using that one for my vocals. And then last but not least, the MXL 990. That was the one that if you spend enough money at Musician's Friend, you got it for free. And
Can I look at these stands? I'm just curious about
yeah, they're all Hercules stands. This is the Hercules MS401B. And here's what I love about one, single-handed for height adjustment, and it's the grip. This is what I love. Yeah.
I'm just so scared.
See, just quick.
Oh,
he's got
that's cool.
These quick systems.
So it goes into
Yep.
the inside of the thing. What about this thing? What the hell is this?
That is actually a guitar cab.
If somebody who's watching this wants to reach out to you,
Yeah.
or do you offer things?
I have been doing more. Really, what I think my expertise is really in the streaming. If people need help, like not knowing where to start, like how to start your branding or how to get going on Twitch or Facebook Live or YouTube or anything like that, especially right now with the shift that's happening, that's really what I'm good at, and making all of your audio stuff integrate with that.
I think
we
I
didn't
forgot
talk
this
about
one.
the table also being
tell me
crank
the
height.
tell me
Yeah,
the
so the
table.
desk is actually height adjustable. So it's got these cranks under here so I can raise and lower it. I like to stand and work.
Oh yeah, what are these?
These are the Audio-Technica 5045 stereo condensers. Really incredible microphones.
You said stereo condensers? So
Yeah,
it's
well, I
each
mean, they're
one-
match pair.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
nice.
I think they have the coolest mounting system. I really love the way those look.
What's the model on these again?
They're 5045.
And what would you personally like to use those on?
Those are really great for big rooms.
Tell me about
Oh,
those.
so this is the new SE microphone that they made for Hohner. It's the SE Hohner Heart Blaster. It's meant for harmonicas, and it's got the really cool attenuator on there, volume knob, but as you put more volume, it gets a little bit more gritty. I use it for like a junk mic for the drums, and I put it right over like the bass drum.
Harp Blaster.
Yeah.
Where can people find you to follow you and ask you questions and stuff?
All social media platforms at the Derek Frank. THEDEREK.
Cool, dude. Well, thank you for having me. I'm gonna get out of here, and everybody go give this video a like. Go follow Derek on Instagram and all the social media. Ask him a bunch of questions. Tell him why Mac is better, and I'll see you guys in the next video.